Marcos da Vinci.
What's good, YouTube? Just coming back with a real quick video. Sorry about that. Just a little thirsty. I want to just speak on two topics real quick. How I survived SFI and a few comments in a few, I think, negative comments that were made in the comments section. And I'm gonna make that part real quick. Somebody basically said taking home $2,000 is low for an owner-operator. I would agree if it was in a 7-day week. Plain and simple. If you're working 7 days a week and you don't have a truck payment, which I do have a truck payment, but it's monthly, and you're not being productive and you're only making $2,000 in 7 days, then yes, I would most certainly agree. But if you decide to come out on a Tuesday and your weekend's on a Saturday, so your first load picks up Tuesday, deliver Wednesday, and you make $2,000 out of it, take home, I think you done did your job. Not because I did it, because you only ran 4 days. You ran 24 hours and made $2,000 to your bank account. Okay? There's not enough jobs in this world that what you could say without a college education that you can make. I don't care, not no company driver, there's no company driver doing that. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear, oh, Walmart's making this. Yeah, Walmart driving 10 hours a day in order to make, let's say that $3,000 paycheck that they're talking about. They're running regional and or over the road and doing a 34-hour reset. So they're running 6 days a week to get it. Okay. And if you really do the math, 6 days and they make it $3,000 a week, that's $500 a day. Okay, take home. Okay, and they got to run 70 hours to do it. So don't say that is bad, terrible, because it isn't. It isn't very terrible. You're just trying to be negative. And most people say, oh, I have a friend that takes home $12,000 a week. No, you don't. If that was the case, why ain't you doing it? And they're not doing it in dry van. Definitely not doing it in dry van. In order for you to take home $12,000 a week, you got to gross like 16, maybe even $18,000 a week. And there's nobody doing that in dry van. Nobody. I don't care what you say. Okay. And if there is somebody doing it, they're not telling nobody that they're doing it because they're going to keep it to themselves. Okay, in dry van. I'm not going to speak for specialty freight. I'm not going to speak for nothing else. I'm talking about dry van and maybe even reefer. I don't see no reefer driver saying that they're taking home $12,000. Now, that could just be them just wanting to hear themselves talk and just to argue, but that ain't it. You can't bullshit a bullshitter, okay? Just can't. But that's enough for that. So what I'm just trying to say is, don't come in the comment section with that negative energy for the positive people who wants to try to better their lives. Don't do it. All right? Don't do it. Because I can make a point of showing you what I can make in 7 days if I truly decided to run. Okay? If I truly decided to run 7 days a week, hard, I could prove my point easily. But there's no reason to do it. I'm not going to let you get me out of my element. Now, what the other part of this video was for was, how did I survive SFI, right? And this is going to be quick too. And these are just tips for people who's getting an SFI truck. One, you got to understand what you're willing not to do before you sign your lease. Are you going to get a brand new truck? Or you're not going to get a brand new truck? You want the high. Now, mind you, There's no difference. Only difference is between a brand new truck and a used truck is the length of your term. Okay, you get a used truck, your used truck is going to be $870, $920 around that area, $250 for maintenance. Your new truck is going to be $900 something with $100 something worth of maintenance, right? You have to get maintenance on it, period, right? Now, but there is key differences when it comes to the end of your lease. Okay, now let's say in a perfect world, your truck never broke down over, what is it, 170, I don't know how many weeks it is, because I think it's a 3-year term or something like that, right? So how many weeks is that? So over 168 weeks, okay? And if you times, what mine was 135. So in 130, let's just say in a perfect scenario that you never had to use your maintenance, you would have $22,000 in your maintenance account, right? If you pay for everything out of pocket, right? Never use your maintenance account. You would have $22,000 going towards your residual, right? And then you would just have to pay whatever the remaining is for a 3-year term on a brand new truck. Now, let's say you do a 18-month term on like a 2020, your residual is 35,000 or 30,000, whatever, right? So what is that? 56 divided by half plus 56, that's 84 weeks. Then now they have different terms. They have 1 year, 18 months, 2 year, 2.5 year, whatnot. Now, mind you, on that short one, you're going to have a higher maintenance, right? Let's just say your maintenance is at $235, right? Now, let's say that you have a perfect 18 months with no issues. You'll come out with about $19,700, right? Towards your residual, right? Which is great because if you only have like a $30,000 residual, $25,000 residual, depending on whatever your residual is, you only got to come out of your pocket $11,000 to own the truck. That's, you have to take that in consideration when you're doing your math on what you want to do. All these trucks come with warranties, all of them, you know, depending on the mileage and all that, right? You have a warranty. You have to take into consideration what you're going to do. Okay, I decided I'm gonna do new 68 miles. So that's step one of how I survived. Picking the truck that I wanted and understanding the maintenance on it. Okay, I understood that both was going to be the same. I could have had a lower lease, but I would have had to come up with that money faster to pay it off, right? So I told myself, can I build up enough money for 3 years, or get my money right, or get my credit right, so where I can pay that off at the end of my 3 years? Because it's going to be hard if you're trying to do it at 18 months, because you know what I mean, you trying to get an SFI truck payment and you didn't get finance. So what's going to really change the 18? But that's just deep into it, right? Secondly, the major thing I did, credit. Your SFI credit. Every week I put back $200. Every week, without hesitation. Towards the end, I put $250 back, which then I took it back down to $200 because that was just crazy. $1,000 a month. I'm like, you know. So I did $200, which allowed me to do every fifth week. It allowed me to take a, I ain't gonna say a vacation, but it was for me to get out the truck, right? Sorry I had to start my truck. It's a little hot in here. So I'm gonna turn it back off for this video. So basically that allowed me to take a week off every 5 to 6 weeks. Now I didn't do that every month and 1 week. I didn't take off, okay? I did not do that, just for everybody who's about to say that's dumb, okay? I didn't. My wife worked every other weekend. That's when I came home. So when y'all see my previous videos of me saying, hey, I'm going home every other weekend, that's why I'm stuck on this schedule this way, because, well, my wife's schedule has changed, but that's neither here or there. So that was another tip. Put money in your residuals. That's how you're going to survive out here. 2, understanding what company to go to. You don't need to go to Snyder. You don't need to come to JB Hunt. You don't need to have your own authority. You don't need to do any of those such things, right? You need to find the company that's going to work for you, okay? Why did I choose Snyder? One, JB Hunt was not accepting Snyder SFI trucks at the time because they had their own leasing program through some agency at the time. And to come over here at that time, it was 55 at that time, back in 2020, was like 5,500 to come over here. I went to SFI, I went to Snyder. They gave me 1,400 for signing on with them. I put down 1,000 for myself, 2,400 to reserve my truck that I wanted. So it's about picking your company. All right, you know, I didn't know nothing about a load board. I didn't know nothing. Mind you, I came into the game not knowing nothing about being an owner-operator when I first started. I knew videos and I understood how some of the stuff worked, but I didn't know until I got my hands dirty, right? So that's what that's how I, started. So what I'd be recommending, to people who, when they got the SFI trucks, and I'm going to say this, not trying to bash JB Hunt, not trying to bash Snyder, right? I'm saying this because I'm honest with you guys, period. I'm always going to be honest with you. Go to a place that has plenty of freight, okay? JB Hunt has an abundance of freight, okay? But it's not like Landstar. Landstar operates off the spot market, period. They agents has some agreement with outside, they do their own rates at a different, but it's better to say let's say you have 600 loads on a load board for JB Hunt at any given time, or it could be lower, it could be higher, versus we're talking about dry van versus 25,000. Now, obviously, the spot market has more freight than that for dry vans on a DAT board, right? Landstar is probably about, in any given area, that probably got at least 1,000 to 2,000 loads, right? A lot, right? Spot market freight, spot market rate, right? But the abundance of loads compared to this. Now, this is going to give you, let's say in a perfect world, right? This is going to give you more consistent rate per mile compared to this 2,000, you know what I mean, than Landstar, right? But there's so many people over here that you might not get to pick the more, you see what I'm saying? So like, you're not gonna be able to automatically get a great rate because all the loads might be gone. Not all of them, that ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying in the sense of you just have more to pick from. That's all I'm trying to say. And with that being said, you need that with a SFI truck. You need to have more options available to you to be successful. I just lucked up and got it through the pandemic era where the rates were good and I just was making plenty of money, right? But now, since the rates are back where the 2018 rates were, you need more abundant rates. I don't care about, cheaper freight. That's the market. That's just how it is. But there is always a diamond in the you can always find you a hidden gem. All the time, no matter what company you go to. I got my hidden gem here at JB Hunt. I drive Illinois, Ohio, Illinois, Ohio, Illinois, Ohio, sometimes PA. You guys know it. I say this every week. I show you guys what I run every week, right? That's my gym. That's what I do. That's because that's what I can run for and I don't have to work hard for. Well, Landstar, that might not work for you here, what I'm doing. But with Landstar, and why I always recommend people to say, hey, go to Landstar if you have an SFI truck, because you just have more loads, So that's how you, picking the correct trucking company for you, Even if it's advanced trucking like Wayland, Mercer, I don't know about Mercer, because some people saying Mercer just have too many drivers right now, which I don't know. F2F, you live in the southern states, they have beautiful customers now that they have dedicated lanes for in the south. That's why I couldn't stay there, because they didn't have it for Ohio. I would have to deadhead all the way to the bottom of Tennessee just to get, they did say when I was leaving, like, hey, we could have, probably found you a load coming down and you could run for 2 weeks and then, go back, and we just rinse and repeat, and that's what they did say, but I was already coming to JB Hunt, so I didn't take them up on their offer, right? So F2F, if you work in the southern states, Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, Mississippi, that type of stuff, reach out to them. See what they say, But that's my ways on you can survive out here with the Sfi truck. Now mind you, I'm only 8 months removed from having an Sfi payment, okay? I'm only 8 months, And out of that 8 months, 2 of them was spent not working. So really 5.5 months, really, because my truck got hit. But you have to find something that's going to work for you. Now, step 4, understanding when it's time to go. If JB Hunt ain't working for you, you need to make sure you plan accordingly to leave. Okay? Do it the right way, because you might want to come back later. You might not. If you want to leave and go to Landstar, go ahead. If you want to leave Landstar and come to JB Hunt, go ahead. But make sure you do it in a way for which you don't lose money. If you're going to do 2 weeks, if you get approved to go on with Landstar, get your hiring date. Make sure you leave here. When I left F2F, I left two days in between orientation. The day I dropped my trailer, and then I deadheaded up, spent one night at the truck stop, and the next day I went to orientation. Plain and simple. Just that simple. I planned accordingly. I did not miss a payment. I didn't miss anything, So that's my little tidbit. As you guys know, I'll be doing Load Board Tuesday, coming this Tuesday. Do you have any suggestions? If not, I'm going to go ahead and do what I want to. I'm going to show you the cities that I usually roll through, and how I pick my freight, because I'm actually going home. I have to renew my license. I have to do a doctor's appointment. I have to get tags for my car. I gotta a lot of stuff at the crib to do. So I will be home Wednesday morning, but I'll do a Load Board Tuesday for you guys. Or would I be on? Yes, I won't be home. I will be home Wednesday. So that's gonna be the end of the video, man. I want to thank everybody who always come in clutch, always saying something, especially for the people who always saying, thank you guys. You guys actually sit there and watch them. Some of y'all really appreciate the paycheck videos, the insight of what you can and can't make here, if it's a good fit, if it's not a good fit. I want to thank you guys for always watching and showing love. Y'all have a great day.